Hi, I'm Laura Rowan, and I am founder of Essential Pelvic Health and Essential Pelvic Health Education. And this episode is going to be talking about state association advocacy. So, for any pelvic health occupational therapists looking to get it into a little advocacy role and to help support and establish our role in pelvic health at their state level, we would love to help support you. We put together some resources. In New York State, that's where I'm primarily located. In New York State, with NYSOTA, the New York State OT Association, we have recently submitted and gotten our position statement approved for pelvic health, the OTP's role in pelvic health. And that's really exciting. A couple of years ago, Carlin Rumey, she got her state, California, at OTAC level to approve a position statement as well. And we have a draft within the American Occupational Therapy Association, the AOTA. So hopefully that will be coming down the pipe soon. And we put together resources so hopefully all the states can follow suit and really be able to help support OTPs to feel safe and confident in entering this specialty field. Also, for it to help promote OTPs to do this and be able to serve the consumers, right? We need more therapists to serve the growing demands of this population. And what better way to do it than to have some good foundational information for people to say, yes, okay, I can do this and I should be doing this. And this is vital work for us to be getting involved with. So let's take a peek at the resource. I try to keep it simple, but there's also a lot of information. So I want to just help you navigate it a little bit and give you different ways to help join communities to be able to help support that as well. So let's see what we got going on here. Okay, those of you guys listening, I'm not going to go into too much detail with what I'm showing. I just want to show you how to navigate it, which will help you also just hear what's available. Um, okay, there we go. So this is the Pelvic Health Occupational Therapy Position Statement Guidelines, and it's a guide to state association advocacy planning. So the main thing that we wanted to highlight was one, how to initiate the process to propose a position statement and then how to draft it and to go through the process of getting approval. And for me, a big starting point and building block was to first create a community. And then from the community, we could kind of get some point people and then start the writing action. So, but you don't necessarily have to do that. So I know in California, Carlin did not do that, which is totally fine. So this sheet is set up. So if you just want to write a position statement, here's where you get started. And so you can see that here, where to start. Step one, proposal to state association board. And we gave you the two samples that to view. This is the board motion form from California. And so you have that right there to be able to review and see the language that Carlin used. And then below that is the NYSOTA proposal. So I initiated this process, and it wasn't a formal written proposal. They wanted me to meet with the NYSOTA board and do a 15-minute presentation. So I included my notes on how I drafted that. So I kind of have like an outline for the opening 2 minutes. The need is clear, today's purpose, why this matters, OT's unique role in pelvic health, and addressing concerns, comparisons, is this within OT scope? And then just kind of a wrap up of why I'm asking for this today. And so it gives you lots of speaking points. And we wanted to share all this with you because why reinvent the wheel, right? Let's share what we we have been doing and what's been successful. So it just streamlines the process. And then, so that's number one. First, you have to reach out to the board. You have to find like a sponsor almost, someone to say, yes, we want to hear about this. So you can pitch your proposal. And then once they vote on that and they accept that, then step two is to draft a pelvic health position statement. So there's four resources that I listed under here. The first one is general guidelines. And it just, what is a position statement, right? So, the statement purpose and scope, essential components to include, we listed there, supporting evidence, which is a big one. And I'll show you in a minute. We have a whole resource list and guide that has been reviewed, like reviews and summaries have been included. So you guys just have that available to be able to pull from rather than having to gather all of that from ground zero. We have a terminology bank to be able to pull from. And again, we gave you resources to samples and we gave you the contacts of the group of professionals who have been working on this. And then, so there's the general guidelines for the specific positions statement. And then we have the sample of the OTAC pelvic health position statement. So you can read through that and see the language and the references there. And then we have the link to the NYSOTA position statement, and it has the general information, and you can follow the links there to be able to go through um, that one as well. So let me get this out of here. Okay. And then the pelvic health reference list. So I just want to give you a quick visual for those that are seeing this on YouTube. So we have all of these resources. So the article title, the citation, the PDF link to it, a brief summary, levels of evidence, so high, moderate, poor, and then the reviewer who did that wonderful work for us. So, and you can just see how extensive this resource is. So, that is all there as resources for you when you're going through this. And then, so once you have the final draft, you have to present to the state board association board, and you'll have communication. So you kind of have a point person. For NYSOTA, we had two. So we had the VP of NYSOTA and we had the legislative rep. And they were just amazing resources and supports and really actually got the ball rolling for us. They had, enough OTs reaching out to them, asking them if we can do this work. And they said, well, let's make sure that we have some better answers for them in writing rather than just saying, as long as you get trained, then we're okay with it. Because, we like to have a little bit more verification. And they understood that. So they've been so greatly supportive through the whole process. And so the next steps are to present to the state association board and get that approval. And they usually have an agenda of how often they meet, and they'll let you know, and they'll bring you up, and then you can attend and be able to field any questions. Like for our process, I know they wanted us to elaborate on some things, to pull in different evidence and others, and they gave us time and allowance to be able to do that. So um, and then promotion and dissemination. So a big key that we like to really highlight is we really wanted to make sure that our position statement was not behind the paywall. So NYSOTA was very supportive in making sure that all access, so you don't have to be a member to be able to access this document, which is very important. We encourage people to be members, of course, but also we want as many people to be able to access this as possible, and to be able to disseminate it and to be able to, just get it out there and really celebrate, because this is how we continue to move the field forward. And then additional considerations near and dear to my heart is building that community of practice, right? So, with AOTA, I realized we just kind of didn't have a lot of pelvic health at our annual conference. So we needed to just bring that awareness and build community within our own association. And so we started the pelvic health community practice at AOTA, and I also started the pelvic health community practice at NYSOTA. So that's something that you all can do as well within your own state. And I think that that is just really supportive, especially when you're presenting to your state board, to have a group of individuals who are invested and supporting the work and the field. So um, I gave you kind of a little outline of what the pelvic health community practice standard operating procedures looks like at NYSOTA, and then um, another additional step that you don't necessarily need to take, but in New York State we are taking, is to present to our regulatory body for just greater legislative support and guidelines. So we have our New York State OT Association that has approved and adopted the position statement. And now we are presenting it to the education board to be able to get their support, hopefully, and to be able to present to them. They've got another agenda, I think quarterly meeting agenda, and that will help just if there are any legislative questions or concerns that come up. It just gives greater support. And then we also have options for further defining any guidelines that we might want to see down the road. So I just put those links to those, or like just the ideas to be able to consider um, down at the bottom there as well. And then at the very bottom, uh, there's a state association advocacy guideline. So this is more general, not just the position statement, but in general, why pelvic health matters in OT practice, what California and OT and New York State accomplished, and then how you can do this too. And I just put, again, resources that we found helpful, common barriers and solutions that we came up against, next steps to get started, and again, just more contact information. So we've got two main groups I want to bring awareness to. So we have, let me see if it's here. We have an email group or a Facebook group, the Pelvic Health OT Grassroots Advocacy Coalition. I know it's a mouthful, but Carlin started that. And that, if you are a Facebook group person, you can go there. Please join, and we are happy to help field questions and help connect other individuals within your state if you're looking for support. Like if you want to do it on your own, great. Carlin was a solo operation in New York. We built a team, so I know like I'm just not a great writer, so I knew I needed help to write it. We also I didn't have the time and resources to be able to go through all of the evidence that we had gathered. So, and we have brilliant people that they are great at that, and that's what they do. So, building a team was very important for me. But there's lots of different ways that you can go about this. So if you're looking to connect with other people in your state to help get some support, the Facebook group, as well as we started an Instagram group. So if you're not a Facebook fan and you prefer Instagram, then the Instagram, I don't know why I can't see. The Instagram group is pelvic pelvic OT advocacy. So you can look that up, and that's in these resources too. So, not pulling it up right now. I always get like stage fright when I try to pull things up. But it is in here, and even on the handout, you can click on the logo, Pelvic Health OT Advocacy, and that will bring you to the Instagram group, which is Pelvic OT Advocacy. So, look us up, even if you're not sure if you want to take this on, if you're just interested in kind of seeing what we got going on. We encourage you to do so. So, and we would love to hear questions. Please, reach out to us. We put lots of our information out there. We are happy to help, and yeah. Good luck. Hope you join the cause.